Hi there. Today, okay, can we start over? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Hi, welcome. I, okay, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm so anxious now. Let me start one more time. I apologize.
No worries. Here's the thing.
Mhm,
Um, when you are preparing to do this,
mhm.
just remember to breathe.
Yeah,
Remember that the strictest judge on you is yourself.
yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
Yeah. And sometimes it's actually easier for you to just ignore a flub.
Right.
Don't feel like you have to redo it. Just proceed.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And in CPT, they say you don't have to apologize. You just say thank you for your patience.
Okay. Okay.
That takes
Thank
the
you.
shame off the table.
Yes. All right. Good afternoon, Pat. I'm glad to see you here today. My name is Coral. If you don't mind, I'd like to hear a little bit about what brings you here today.
Well, hi. Um, uh, actually, my name is Alyssa.
It says Pat on my form.
I
Sorry about
know,
that.
it's okay. But my name's Alyssa, and
Hello, Alyssa.
I hello. It's nice to meet you. So I came in to the doctor today because I've been having a lot of digestion issues. My stomach is just awful. And when I went to see the doctor then said that I needed to talk to you before we can proceed with the treatment because for some reason um, he wants me to talk to you about um, how many times I've been drinking wine, and I'm not really sure why that's a problem.
Okay, so you've been having some stomach problems then. That must be really hard for you, in your daily life. Um, so when it comes to your drinking, did your doctor say what he found concerning at all?
No, I guess the doctor thinks they're related, somehow the drinking is affecting my stomach.
Okay. How about, do you know about how often you drink alcohol? About in a month?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Um, I'm a business owner.
Okay.
Um, Master Style is my store. And because it's just me and two employees, I'm there all the time. We're open 8 to 8. And um, I recently got divorced. And I share custody of my son Parker. He's 7, with my ex. And it's so hard when Parker isn't there. The house is so quiet. And so, I open a bottle of wine, I have a glass or two, and then, I notice that the, the bottle's empty.
Oh,
um, and sometimes, as the night goes on, I might open a second one.
okay. So during those quiet times, it's really hard. So the alcohol helps you kind of relax during those times, maybe decrease some of the anxiety you have when your son's not there.
Yeah, because I mean, when it's so quiet in the house, the only thing you have to listen to are your own thoughts.
Right.
And I have to say, when you're a business owner, you're always thinking, did I remember to do this? Did I do that? What can I do to bring in more customers? And with Parker not there, I'm always thinking, how's he doing? How was school? And you don't want to over butt into his relationship with his dad. So,
Mm. So when you're drinking alcohol, or I should probably ask, how frequently is your son at his father's house?
well, he's with me once a week, for a whole week, and then he goes to his father's house for a week.
Okay.
And I do have to admit, I've noticed that when Parker is with me, um, sometimes after he goes to bed, I find myself with just me and my thoughts again. And so sometimes I've opened a bottle. And
Okay.
I really, I'm just thinking to myself, it's better not to drink after he goes to bed because, what if he wakes up and needs me and I'm, sleeping it off. I had an incident a couple weeks ago where he was at a sleepover and I was supposed to pick him up on Sunday morning and I slept right through my alarm. And
Mm.
my ex came over and he saw the empty wine bottle and that led to an argument. And, I don't want that kind of thing to happen again.
Right. So the wine kind of helps quiet you down, but there's a little bit of guilt and maybe a little bit of fear because especially when your son's there, you feel like you drink maybe a bit to the point where you may not be able to be there for him when he needs you.
Yeah.
So how
And
many drinks?
I think being there for your kid is the most important thing.
Yes, definitely, very much. So on the nights when your son's not there, uh, how many drinks would you say that you have?
Well, how many glasses of wine is in a bottle?
Okay, okay. So you probably have a couple glasses, maybe three or four. And how many times a week do you typically do that?
Hmm,
Just to sit back and
maybe five or
relax.
six.
Okay, all right. So how would you say during these times where you have these five or six uh, glasses, how often would you say that you're having them on one occasion? Would you say maybe weekly or?
Um, I would say I often drink a bottle um, a night and sometimes start the next one.
Okay. And when you begin these nights where you're drinking, uh, do you feel like it's sometimes difficult to stop the drinking, or once you get into it, is
Oh,
it
so often when I'm drinking, I think to myself, this will be the last glass.
right?
Or I tell myself, don't open that second bottle of wine.
Mm.
And then I get caught up in my own thoughts and I'm not really paying attention. Next thing I know, my glass is half empty and the second bottle's open.
So it goes by pretty quickly. It's easy to sort of lose track of time while you're drinking.
Yes.
Yeah. So how often during the last year have you found that you were not able to stop drinking once you had started?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Would you say that it happens within a month? Like, would you say it happens monthly or more often than that?
Weekly?
Okay. How often during the last year would you say that you failed to do what you normally expected to do because of drinking?
Well, there was the sleepover incident, and I'm supposed to get all my paperwork done at night, so that I can turn things into the bank and the accountant by the next day. And a few times I've overslept and kept my paperwork till the morning. Um, I'd say that's happened 4 or 5 times last month.
Okay.
And you know how it goes. Each time you promise it'll never happen again.
Right. It sometimes interferes with your work, so you're having sometimes it sets you back a little bit.
Hmm.
How often during the last year have you needed a first drink maybe in the morning to get yourself going?
I don't think I've ever done that.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not one to turn down a mimosa. And I've done that at brunch before, maybe on a Sunday.
All right. So pretty much not that often. Maybe on a Sunday, maybe get together with some friends, have a mimosa, some
Yeah.
socially pretty much.
But I do have to admit, I haven't been seeing my friends as often as I used to, trying to, do the single parent thing and the
Right. Between
independent
the
business owner makes it a
right
little harder.
between the divorce, taking care of your son and your business, I can see that it's probably pretty overwhelming at times.
Yes.
So when you're drinking, are you often having feelings where you're maybe not um, happy that you're drinking? Maybe you're feeling a bit guilty, or during these times where you're drinking, how are you feeling?
I don't know. You know, um, it soothes the nerves. It calms the anxiety. Um, Really, it's more, um, when you realize it's late and you should have been in bed 30 minutes ago and you shouldn't have opened the second bottle of wine. I think the regret is strongest when you wake up the next morning and you don't feel so good.
So really, the when you're drinking, it's just pretty much an in the moment sort of thing. But those regrets come, after the next morning when you're getting up and you're preparing for your day. It kind of slows you down.
Yeah, and you have a headache and you're not feeling so swift and
How often would you say that happens? Those regrets the morning after.
pretty much every time.
Okay. Have you ever had moments where maybe you struggle to remember what happened the night before after a night of drinking?
I've forgotten things like where'd I put my keys, um, misplacing paperwork, things like that. But I haven't had something where I don't remember what I did the night before. That'd be a bad sign.
Yes, yes. That's actually very good. It sounds like at least that you have um, you haven't uh, lost any of the memories from those fun nights of drinking, right?
Hmm. I don't know if I would call them fun so much as relaxing.
Relaxing, nice relaxing nights. During these times, has there ever been an accident where maybe you hurt yourself, like falling down, or somebody else got hurt during these moments?
Um, I remember tripping on my way to the bathroom one night and, kind of, um, you know, got the bruise there, um, falling into door frame.
Okay. And when that happened, the next morning, was that concerning to you at all?
Yeah.
In what
It really
way?
made me think, if my son were to get up to go to the bathroom and fall, um, would I hear him? You know, because that's
Okay.
one of the things about drinking too heavily when he's home. What if he needed me and I didn't wake up?
Right. So so really your alcohol consumption, I mean, your biggest concern is your son at this point
Yes.
and his well-being.
Yes.
Has anyone you cared about really kind of discussed with you maybe your alcohol intake? Has somebody, maybe pointed out, hey, I've noticed that you drink a lot more
Mostly my
frequently?
ex,
Okay.
after that sleepover incident.
Right. Right.
Now when he brings Parker home, he's like, have you had anything to drink today?
Right. And when he asks you these questions, does it makes you feel upset?
Yes. I mean, makes makes me feel like he thinks I'm an irresponsible parent, and
Mm,
Parker is the most important thing in my life.
right. Parker, he's you love him and you would never do anything to, hurt him. So
Right.
you feel really maybe frustrated when he brings these things up.
Yeah, and a little guilty that, maybe he's right after that sleepover incident.
Right. Okay. Well, um, I do want to go ahead and talk about since your doctor was talking about, maybe that your alcohol consumption could be related to these stomach issues that you've been having. I do want to talk about your alcohol intake. And I was hoping I could show you this little screen right here. I know it's flipped, but typically the drinking limits that's within healthy limits for women is about 7 drinks a week and a maximum of 3 drinks a day. And the increase of these drinking could be causing your alcohol problem, or I'm sorry, your stomach issues.
Mm.
How do you feel about that?
Like if I'm not healthy, it's harder to take good care of Parker. And plus, if I call in sick, there's no one to open the business, and if I don't open the business, I don't keep the money coming in.
And if I were to say on a scale of 0 to 10, how 10 being, you feel like the way you're working right now is, perfectly fine. You're not interested in changing anything. And 0 being, you know, you want to change everything with the alcohol consumption. Where would you put yourself on this scale? Oh, it's the other way around.
I would say I'm very interested in making a change because I'm realizing that the choices I'm making are harming and potentially harming my son. And
Okay.
I don't want to do that.
Right. You are really invested in bettering yourself for your son, for his sake.
Yeah. And maybe if I had someone that wasn't as judgmental as my husband to talk to about my drinking. One of the things I thought is, I have this friend Sally that I haven't been talking to very much lately. And, her husband had an alcohol problem, and maybe she'd be willing to talk to me. I don't know. I could see.
Right. So you would have that area of support to at least get a better idea of maybe how to uh, change and maybe drink a little bit less. So you're feeling more comfortable. You feel like your son is in a position where you feel like you're taking care of him. You're able to be there for him when he needs you at all times.
Yeah, that's what I would like. And maybe,
So,
if I talk to someone else, rather than my bottle of wine, on the nights I'm feeling lonely, then maybe I'd be less inclined to drink.
Well, that's fortunately, I mean, it sounds like, your doctor brought you here for those reasons to kind of talk about this and see what changes, if any, you're willing to make. So,
So by what you said, 7 drinks a week is a lot less than what I've been doing now.
of course,
So perhaps if I limited myself to 2 drinks a night.
that would be a really great improvement. Yes. You'd still be up on the higher platform for, the drinks that you would be intaking, but it's an improvement and it's a step in a direction for decreasing the amount of drinks you're having a night. So that's a good thing. So is that something that you'd want to have as a goal to attempt to put into place for?
Yes.
Okay.
And perhaps if I can stick to 10 drinks a week for a month, then maybe I can reduce it to 7 a week.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Setting those goals in place will help you, and never be afraid to have goals that you don't want to push things too quickly. Change is something that happens slowly. So even if you don't get to it in that 1 month period, you're still making the progress towards change.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, it was a real pleasure having you here today, and I hope that we can set an appointment for you to come back next week and talk about this a little more, if that's okay.
All right.
Okay, great.
Thanks a lot.
Yep. Have a wonderful day.
You too. So how'd that go for you, Coral?
Horrible. Real horrible.
Oh. Okay. So if you had a client, if you had a client who said to you what you just said to me, how would you respond?
Not well. Not well. I was
No, I'm talking about your reaction. Because I've only known you for 30 minutes.
Oh.
And I would say you are very hard on yourself. I could see several moments during the discussion between the two of us where you were talking to yourself about the way things were going.
Yeah.
And you're not being polite. Would that be accurate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and it was one of these things where I'm trying to think several steps ahead, and
Yes.
It's obviously working negatively for me. And so the moment where I made the slip, where I meant to say, I can't even remember, but I said alcohol
Yes.
consumption,
Yeah.
I saw you wince, and
Yes.
I was like, oh no.
Yes. But the thing to remember is everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
So don't be hard on yourself when you make a mistake.
Okay.
Because you don't want the people you're helping to react that way.
Right.
So you need to work on teaching yourself not to react that way, because they'll see it.
Right. This was.
And you've done this a record time of once.
Yes. Very true. Very true.
And the first time you rode your bike and you fell over, you weren't like, what is up with you? So my advice is it's a learning curve.
Right.
And you're going to have many opportunities to practice this before you actually do it. Yeah. And any mistake you make during an interview is not reversible. Is not unreversible.
Okay.
Sorry. The idea being that no matter what happens, there's a way forward. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So And I apologize I was trying to control my facial reaction.
No. I mean, in real life scenarios, that would be a bad, pretty much Freudian slip. That's not something you want to happen during an interview process. And I am well aware when it happened, you were wincing and I saw it, but I was also wincing.
Right. Right. Okay. So if it's okay with you, let's switch roles.
Sure.
Okay. And let me just get my paperwork where I'd like it to be.
Sure. Take your time.
All right. So good afternoon. My name is Alexandria LaFaye, and I understand that you're coming in today to discuss a few things, Ms. Martin.
Yeah, actually, I'm here because my general practitioner actually asked me to see you because I've been having some intestinal issues, and so I've been having some stomach aches, cramping, and I don't know. It's been hard for me to keep, it's been hard for me to find, like, I want to eat. I don't really have much of an appetite. So he actually sent you my way because he wanted me to discuss with you my alcohol intake, I guess. And I'm not really quite sure why.
Well, do you feel comfortable talking about possible connections between the ailments you've been feeling and your alcohol intake?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I'm really sorry you've had this difficulty. And I think that you can consider your general practitioner and I part of your team, and that our job is to help you feel better. So in approaching new ways to create the changes you'd like to see, let's discuss your drinking choices. First of all, so the one of the ways that we can do this is that I'll ask you a series of questions, and there are several options for answering. So let me just give you an example from the first one. So, how often do you have a drink containing alcohol? And you could answer never, monthly, 2 to 4 times a month, 2 to 3 times a week, 4 more times a week.
Okay, I would say I typically drink, I mean, almost every day.
And when you do drink every day, how much do you drink?
Well, I like beer, so I can drink about 4 or 5 beers, and sometimes I may have about a shot or 2 of whiskey along with that.
Okay. And how often do you have 6 or more drinks on an occasion?
I would say about 4 or 5 times a week. I mean, I usually do it after work, and I work, really long days, about 10 hours a day, and I'm all over the place at my job. Sometimes they have me working in the kitchen. Sometimes I'm, serving tables, or, I can even have to be the manager on duty on some nights. So it's like, it's exhausting. And I like to come home and, have a couple to help me take the load off.
Yeah, it sounds like a stressful and tiring job.
Yeah.
You're really working hard. Yeah. And how often do you feel like you're not able to stop drinking?
I don't know. It's hard to say because I mean, I really hate to admit it, but sometimes I don't really uh, remember after drinking. So, um, but I would say most times, I tend to drink until I can, you know, I relax, and unwind. So it's like one of these. It's kind of recreational for me, but
Yeah. So do you find um, yourself waking up the same place where you started drinking?
yeah, I mean, really, I kind of feel like I don't really. I'm still at home. I come home and I drink, and I'm still at home when I wake up in the morning. Really, I'm pretty exhausted. So it's kind of like, even though, some part of me may think that the alcohol has a part with, sort of the memory issues, I'm also exhausted all the time. So I really think that plays a huge role in, why I'm having trouble remembering the night before.
Do you think
So.
that do you think that drinking affects the quality of your sleep at all?
I don't think so. I really think it's just the stress from work.
Okay. And if I were to share maybe a video or an article about the relationship between alcohol consumption and sleeping, would that be useful to you?
I don't know. I mean, I'd be willing to look at it. I mean, just to see, of course.
So, do you prefer watching or reading?
Watching.
All right. So,
It's
how
a
about if
shorter
I,
amount of time for me.
yeah, how about if I send you some links?
Sure. Yeah, I can totally do that.
And I understand that your job is very difficult and you are really tired. And um, I've seen some great videos on how you can use techniques like meditation or my favorite is listening to thunderstorms. It's just relaxation videos, for instance. Would you be interested in trying one of those?
Sure. I mean, anything that could help with the exhaustion, obviously. I mean, anything that can help me relax.
Great. Well, I will send that your way as well. So, how often do you think it happens where you feel as if the drinking is interfering with your daily activities?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I think it's because of the exhaustion and, the memory loss and everything like that. I feel like, it's really pulling me down. And sometimes when I'm at work, it's harder to get through the day because of it. And honestly, I'm working real hard, and I'm hoping, because I've been at this job for 6 years, you know, I'm hoping to be promoted to a training role. So I feel like I really want to figure out what's going on with me, because I don't want it to interfere with this promotion I could be getting.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with that promotion.
Yeah.
And if we get the chance to meet again, we could talk about ways of achieving that goal. Um, and so, do you ever find that the alcohol is causing effects on your performance at work?
I mean, with the digestive issues and the exhaustion, I mean, it really is starting to interfere with my work and my personal time. I feel like crap a lot. I'm not feeling great. So yes, I'd say it interferes with my work life often.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that because when you're not feeling well, it's very hard to give your best at work.
Yeah.
Um, on that note, um, do you ever feel the need to take a drink in the morning? Um, the old, um, bit of the hair of the dog that bit you idea?
Uh, Not really, because I mean, I do like to be responsible. I mean, this job really means a lot to me, and I wanna move up in it. And I know that drinking to relax me.
Okay. Um, I am going to have to apologize, Casey, but right now my internet is a little unstable. So you cut out for a minute there. So I'm going to ask your um, patience and ask you to repeat the last thing you said.
No problem. I was just saying that I don't really drink in the mornings. I really only drink at night because uh, it helps me relax. I would be more concerned about drinking in the mornings because of my job, and I don't want it to interfere with my job because it means a lot to me.
You take the responsibility of your job very seriously,
Mhm.
and you're obviously very dedicated, and that's very admirable. Very
Thank
admirable.
you.
And um, you know, just about everything we do has additional effects on our lives. Does your drinking ever make you feel guilty?
I don't know, not really, because I guess I don't really see a problem with it. It really sort of helps me at night. And, after working all day, I feel like I really need those those drinks to kind of let me settle from the busy day.
Yes, it sounds like the stress of your daily life can be very difficult. Um, have you ever uh, heard about clearing exercises before?
No, I haven't.
Um, so like when you get off work, um, sometimes it can really help to take a drink of water and wash your face with cool water. Um, and then you could do this in your car before leaving work, or you could um, do it, um, if there's a park nearby or somewhere you feel comfortable or relaxed. And you just take 5, maybe 10 minutes and just clear the mechanism, clear your mind. Um, Oftentimes what I like to do is imagine either, those old metal lunch boxes from when you were a kid or a little suitcase, somewhere that represents something you enjoy, um, uh, or traveling, relaxation. And you imagine as if you put that suitcase or that lunchbox in your lap and you take the things that are worrying you or weighing down on you in your job and you fold them into the suitcase and close it and
Hmm.
say, I'm done with this today, and set it to the side. It's a mental exercise that prepares your brain to let go of your worries and focus on your free time and enjoyment.
I mean, I could give that a shot. I mean, you know, I feel like it's sort of a why not situation, right? So
Yes, well, and it's great that you have a willingness to consider different techniques that might help you. That's
thank you.
great. Have you ever, you or anyone else, been injured as a result of your drinking?
Uh, I mean, sometimes, on the nights where I can't remember, I'll wake up with, some bruises the next morning, but I can't really, say for certain. But and then I'm working all day, so I don't know if I get those bruises from work or if I just, it's from those times I can't remember.
Okay. How often would you say that's happening?
Uh, Maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 times, 3 times a week, maybe. I don't know.
And what are your thoughts about your friends, coworkers? Has anyone said anything about your drinking?
I I mean, a couple of my friends have said that maybe I should slow down, but I don't really see the big problem with it. So,
Okay.
so I don't know.
Speaking of not seeing a problem with it, the things I've heard you say about what's positive about drinking are that you feel more relaxed. It allows you to take away the burdens of the day and feel more relaxed. And are there other positive aspects of drinking that you wanted to discuss?
I mean, I guess it's like, a way to kind of, there's the relaxing, there's the de-stressing from the busy day. And, I suppose I have a lot of concerns about this upcoming promotion. So it kind of gets rid of those when I drink too. So,
Okay. So it reduces your anxiety and your worry.
yeah.
I can see why those would be things that you would see as advantageous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the negatives of drinking. We talked earlier a little bit, we touched on the fact that it may be making it harder for you to sleep and to actually get the kind of sleep your body needs to feel rested. So even though that the alcohol makes you feel relaxed, it may not actually be giving you the rest you need, that your body needs. Are there other things that you see as maybe a negative?
Well, I guess if it's the alcohol's fault, I guess it could be, you know, I guess it could be interfering with my job a bit, just the, feeling tired and, I want to have more energy so I can do the stuff I need to do. I suppose it does sort of take up a lot of my time, you know.
Yeah. And don't forget the stomach issues.
So
And
that you think that's a big concern is you think my alcohol intake could be
yes.
the reason?
Yes. So let me just give you an example. When you look at the amount of alcohol you're drinking, which is from what you said at the beginning, it's 5 to 6 drinks a night. And when you look at that over the length of a week, that actually puts you in the over 20 drinks a week category. And if you think of alcohol consumption in a pyramid, that puts you in the category of severe risk. Would it surprise you to know that?
Yeah, I didn't really think that, I didn't really think I had a problem, it was just, I was just really doing it to settle at night.
And would you be surprised to know that you should probably be at a 7 drink maximum for a week?
Wow. Yeah, that 7 drinks, that's not a lot. So yeah, that would definitely surprise me. Yeah.
And one of the things to think about is that alcohol affects you psychologically. It also affects you physically. So when you think about the stomach problems you're having, you also need to think about that it's also affecting your other organs like your kidneys and your liver.
Well, I guess, I suppose that's why my doctor sent me to you, right?
Probably. I think you're probably right. And I think that you're a very dedicated person who works very hard. Do you think you could take those skills of hard work and dedication and apply them to changing your drinking habits?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
And if you were to rate your readiness to make a change, 1 to 10, where do you think you're at? 10 being I'm really ready to make a change.
Maybe a 6.
Okay, so what makes you choose a 6 rather than say a 5?
Well, I guess because the alcohol has really helped me relax. So I guess it's, it's kind of hard to want to give it up too much. So
Right.
I guess that's
And what do you think would help you get to a 7?
um I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe if I didn't get this promotion because of it, I suppose that would really kind of make me realize that I need to cut down a lot more.
And what would you think if you told yourself, or if, I mean, let me ask you this. If it sounds like you're very invested in that promotion. Would you think about considering lowering your drinking as a requirement, a kind of a self-set requirement for ensuring that you get that promotion?
Yeah, I think I could do that. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think having a support system to help you commit to making change might be helpful?
I mean, it's kind of hard. A lot of the people that I hang around with, they tend to be the people that if I ever go out, I drink with. So, but I do have
If I were,
my family, so I mean, I could
if
talk
I
to
were
them.
to give you some information about organizations that provide that kind of support system, would you be interested in investigating it a little?
Yeah, yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Um, I um, I will send you some of that information, and if you have any questions about it, you can contact me.
Okay.
I've really enjoyed meeting you today, and I would like, before we leave today, if you would consider presenting or deciding upon a goal for next week in terms of your drinking.
So you mean like, present a goal next week, or you want me to present a goal now?
Would you be willing to present a goal now?
I think I could do that.
So what are your
Um,
thoughts? If right now you're drinking about 20 drinks um, a week, what might be a reasonable goal for next week?
Maybe I could try and cut down to 12.
Well, that's a great goal. That's a great goal. And if there's anyone you feel comfortable talking to, during the times that you would normally drink, if there's someone you feel you can reach out to talk to about um, the experience to help you through it, you might consider seeing if they'd be open to helping you out.
Okay. Okay, I can do that. Yeah, definitely.
Would you like to schedule a meeting for the two of us to meet again in about a week?
Yeah, yeah, I'd like that. I would.
All right. Well, thank you very much for meeting with me today, and I hope this has been helpful. Um, and I want to wish you all the best with meeting your goal for the week and with the promotion you're working on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. Thanks a lot. Coral, I apologize, but I've got to run so I can get to
No,
the
that's fine.
interview.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Thank you
I
so
will.
much.
You're so welcome. I'll submit this.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.